Hello everyone, Austin Petersen here, presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. Thanks very much for tuning into my live stream tonight to respond to the Iowa caucus results. And tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the big winners and the big losers tonight. And this is very important for us to suss out exactly who came out ahead and who lost in this. So I would just say, abandon hope, all you libertarians who caucus here. The GOP is intellectually dead, but liberty itself is still very much alive. And Ted Cruz ekes out a narrow victory against Trump in a state that's widely seen to be a very conservative state. So to see Ted Cruz win in something like this, it's good for the Republican Party in the sense that it shows that Donald Trump, that some outsider sort of New York liberal, fake conservative, is not going to win in a conservative state like Iowa. I think that's good for the Republican Party in the sense that they've actually decided to nominate a conservative for these delegates. And I want to read the results for you, but to me first, this Twitter, oh my gosh, this is probably the best. This is from Daniel Lynn, early Iowa results. 29% went to the guy with the punchable face. 25% went to the guy who is a solid gold dumpster fire. 21% went to Tracy Flick, which I'm thinking is like Marco Rubio. And for the Democrats, 51% went to the person who is pending indictment, and 49% went to the guy who wants us to be like Venezuela. So Daniel Lynn has nailed it there. He's got the tweet of the night, I would say. Now, obviously, what does this mean for Rand? What does this mean for the libertarians? What does this mean for the people who really care about limited government? Well, the Republican Party is no friend of liberty, and Rand Paul is dropping out of sight in this conservative caucus state. New Hampshire is not looking any better. This party, I don't know if they're ready for libertarians. I mean, what happened to the Ron Paul revolution? Ron Paul did much better in Iowa than Rand. Now, this is not a criticism of Rand. I think that, in a sense, Rand's a pretty good candidate, but the problem is it's a crowded caucus. You guys don't understand how conservatives are. They get spooked with libertarians, and this is why we have our own party. This is why I'm running as a libertarian, and a lot of Rand Paul supporters criticized me and said, Austin, how dare you run against Rand, traitor, traitor. Guys, I'm a professional. I saw the writing on the wall months ago. This is why I geared this up. Because here's the thing. The GOP is dead, but liberty is alive, okay? The libertarian movement still exists. And it's not a problem of any one necessarily particular candidate as much. We are so nebulized. We need to condense, and we've been so spread apart. It's not just my efforts, but the liberty movement never united behind Rand. And there are people who have said to me tonight, they're like, yes, well, I think Austin knows that he can be a bit abrasive. Good. I might make some people uncomfortable. That's good. That's what a change agent does. That is how you, being abrasive is what soap does to get the clothes clean. So I am here to bring the message of libertarianism, and I will carry this torch in through November if you let me. Now, Ted Cruz, I wouldn't want to run against Ted Cruz, okay? GOP, earth to GOP, Ted Cruz is not who you want to nominate if you want to win. Ted Cruz probably is going to piss off too many people. He's got a bad reputation for not being a player, and he's also going to be the type of guy who, he doesn't have insider status. The establishment doesn't want Cruz. So I wouldn't want to run against Cruz because I'm running as an anti-establishment outsider campaign. So, honestly, the Republican Party, if they want libertarians to vote, I'm sure that a lot of libertarians are going to go support Ted Cruz versus me, the actual libertarian. And that's because, unfortunately, when you look at how libertarians vote, they vote for the Republican Party more than they vote for their party. It just doesn't happen. Charles Koch, David Koch, these guys walked away from the Libertarian Party years ago. Ed Crane, the founders of the Cato Institute, Murray Rothbard walked away from it. And why? Because we are just besotted by crazies. And it's obvious when someone comes around that wants to win, like me, somebody who wants to come in and bring in more than 1%, it's like, it smells like the state. It's like, no, you were picked last for kickball losers, and you never learned how to get on the horse and ride. Sometimes you got to learn how to fight for victory. So they want the Libertarian Party to be the philosophical debate club. I'm not interested. I've read my Hayek, Mises, Rothbard. I've read Ron Paul. I know the issues, okay? Don't try to school me on a non-aggression principle because I will spank you, okay? I will destroy you. Now listen, libertarians, do you want to win? Go to austinpetersen2016.com right now. Listen, get yourself a nice little bumper sticker, $5 tonight. Listen, I'm so glad that I started this campaign because it's time. It's time. Now, I love the Pauls. Ron Paul worked so hard for us, volunteer. Rand, I supported him and wish him well. We need some new names out there. We need some fresh faces. The libertarian movement has got to move beyond the Pauls. Not that we leave them behind, but that we need to grow into the future, and it's time. I mean, Rand Paul might run again, but for now, in this election cycle, you got one choice. Now, I know a lot of you guys are legacy Gary Johnson voters and you like him. I liked him a lot. I thought it was a good time, try it around. But we've got to change the drapes. I want to talk about Mike Huckabee. We'll get back to my campaign in a moment. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Again, if you are, please donate now. I want to raise $1,000 in this podcast. I'm going to New York City tomorrow, and I'm going to be on John Stossel's show. That will air this Friday night. Don't miss it. Friday night, 8 p.m., my reaction to the Iowa caucus results, as well as my predictions for New Hampshire. Mike Huckabee suspends his campaign tonight. I mean, nobody even knew that he was running until he did this Adele song recently. Did you see that? Hello? And he got in trouble for it. It was the first time anybody had talked about him, but he's out. He dropped. And what about Rick Santorum? These are the worst. These are the guys who are like socially conservative, but they're not fiscally conservative, because certainly Mike Huckabee raised taxes. He was called Tax Hike Mike. And Rick Santorum, he wants to raise the federal minimum wage. So they're just social conservatives. They're not fiscal conservatives. Goodbye, Mike Huckabee. Goodbye, Rick Santorum. Quit wasting our time, all right? Ben Carson, all right? It was reported that he was heading out on vacation anyway, no matter the outcome of the Iowa caucuses. Now, he's an intelligent man. He must have seen the writing on the wall. I wish Ben Carson well. He's a public intellectual. I loved seeing him rake Obama over the coals to his face, saying that the politically correct police are out in full force at all times. Yes, bless you, Dr. Carson. Thank you for running. And I'm very grateful for him coming in and offering his ideas to us. I don't always agree with him. I certainly disagree with him on, marijuana. I think he kind of fear-mongered us on Ebola. But he's a brilliant neurosurgeon, and he's an American. I think he's an American patriot. He wants the best for this country. He really does. He loves America, and I have faith that if I win the presidency this year, then I would put Ben Carson in charge of be Surgeon General if it was required. If I couldn't abolish the position itself anyway. No, I think Ben Carson's a good man, and him taking forth, I think, is respectable for him. He was an outsider always, and I wish him well. So Jeb Bush. Oh, Jebby, little Jebby. Oh, little Jebby. He was supposed to be the establishment's pick. He was supposed to be the establishment's guy, right? He was supposed to be the savior that was going to, save the Republican Party. But the neocons they're not looking good this year. And that brings me to my next point. Marco Rubio. I think Marco Rubio is the establishment's last stand, and I'm going to go into this on New Hampshire. But let me just read the results. We got Cruz in first with 6 delegates, Trump in second, Marco Rubio in third with 5 delegates, and Carson had 1 delegate. Rand Paul has, Rand Paul has 0 delegates. 0 delegates. Now they're saying, I'm hearing rumors from the campaign staff that Rand Paul's going to stay in, and they're going to go to New Hampshire. They think they have 2 delegates. Okay, that's fine. And I assume that Rand will probably stick around for a little while. Like, he's, do what you got to do, man. But the rest of us better start getting on the fire train. About Rubio. If I had to bet my own money on this election for the Republican ticket, the safe bet is probably on Rubio, because the establishment neoconservatives are very powerful, and they hold the reins of the power, and they're the rule makers in the party. So I assume that what will happen, because they don't want Donald Trump, he's still seen as an outsider, and the Republican Party can rewrite the rules. They're a private party. They will do everything they can to screw Trump and Ted Cruz out of the nomination and give it to Rubio, because Rubio will keep the war machine running. Rubio will keep the spending flowing. He will keep the planned projections of cuts and increase of growth of spending going, omnibus, and you will get George Bush on steroids. That's the thing, because Jeb Bush, you just can't beat George Bush. He just doesn't have that charisma. You wanted to have a beer with George W. Bush, right? Am I right? I mean, I still look at like George W. Bush and despise how he just sold out the conservative movement. But he's like, that's a cool guy. Like, he runs with my dad, like hayseed. You want to go hang out with George W. Bush on a weekend, and And that's how he won the presidency, being cool. That's why Trump is doing so well, and that's why Jeb is not doing well. And now Marco Rubio comes in, and he's like in the middle of it, right? He is sort of like the guy who comes in and is like classy. He saves the day at the last minute. Now, I'm going to be on Stossel tomorrow with the editor of National Review, Rich Lowry. I'm pretty sure that these guys want Rubio to win. But here's the thing, and this is how we win, guys. This is how we win. And if you like these ideas, then, please donate. If Rubio loses, and it's Trump versus Hillary, guys, well, the establishment conservatives will, for the first time, be pressed out of power for their own purposes. Now, they're going to want to fight Trump so bad that the only guy that could stand on the Freedom Watch and save the country from Donald Trump is sitting right here before you. And I put myself in this situation for you, America. Now, listen, this stuff is hard, okay? Like, I'm getting the gray hairs. The least you can do is buy a bumper sticker tonight, or volunteer if you want to. Volunteer for the campaign. Go to AustinPetersen2016.com. If you support me, guys, if you want to see this campaign continue and you want to see me keep bringing the fire, support me now. Send me $100. Now, I know you've been saving them for Rand, but it is time now, guys. And I'm not calling for Rand to step down. Rand can do whatever he wants. But for those of us who understand what the situation is that we're in right now, listen, we're desperate. You want to keep an AP for LP campaign going all the way to May, you got to fund it. I'm just not independently wealthy, and I don't have to do this. I'm trying to give America a choice. And public servants are the type of people who you shouldn't crave power. I really don't crave power, and honestly, I pray that this cup shall passeth from my lips. Not to get biblical on you there or anything, but yeah, like, who wants to drink from the cup of wrath? You really think that sitting in the White House, deciding all of these sort of machinations that I can't abolish because the Congress has got to write the legislation, I can only veto? You understand the president isn't a dictator. I mean, that is not the kind of thing that any sane or rational person wants. I mean, I admire George Washington for walking away, but also think about it. I mean, Mount Vernon is beautiful. Wouldn't you want to go home? Like, quite frankly, if you want to send me home, don't donate tonight. If you want to see me go out there to Valley Forge, and you want to, which I have been in Valley Forge for the last few months, but if you want to see me go to get it to Trenton, you want me to see me kill some Hessians? Do you want to see me kill some Hessians? Join the campaign. Go to AustinPetersen2016.com. Send me $100 and I will use it to kill me some Hessians, okay? And we will sneak over in the middle of the night, midnight. It's 10:34. I'm talking to you live. I'm leaving for New York City at 6 a.m. If there was any... I'm fighting, guys, for your liberties. So if you don't believe me, I don't know how else I can be convinced. Now, some people call me a used car salesman, and they're comparing me to Donald Trump and libertarianism. Well, Donald Trump took second place tonight. Good job. Good job, Donald. You managed to turn people out of the voters. There are nice things to be said about Donald Trump, but Republicans, and now this is what I've been saving it up for, please nominate Trump, okay? If the Libertarian Party will nominate Donald Trump, then I predict great things for the Libertarian Party. I'm not into predictions. I'm a skeptical libertarian, of course. I caucus with the Penn Jillettes of the party. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see me take this Libertarian Party to the next level, get on my level, okay? Go to AustinPetersen2016.com. I leave for New York City in the morning. Support the campaign to take over the government and leave everyone alone. Listen, liberty is still alive, and we've got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of victories to be won between now and November. Get your bumper stickers, get your wristbands, join the Freedom Ninja Army, and I have to lean in and turn this off because I've exhausted my entire crew, and they're all, dead tired, and I'm still fighting. So, fight with me on the Freedom Watch. See you soon.